Life's a gamble, take a chance. In the twilight of fortune's dance.
On this episode of Sin City Spin, Drew celebrates the year of the snake. Mental gets mad at robot cars and Slider breaks Drew's brain again. Really, we discuss Waymo, Zoox, other autonomous vehicles, along with Sundance Film Festival's relocation and Gitmo's new mission.
Host with voices rich and cool. Share the secrets, break the rules. Martini wisdom flows like gold. Every episode a story told.
All right. And here's my notes buried deep into there. All right. Greetings from fabulous Las Vegas. I'm Christian Mental Ward. Yes, I could do your car's brakes, but I'm busy. Now, to my right, he can clear your browser history, but he will judge you. It is Drew Masur. And at the end, he can do your taxes, but he's going to take your last beer when he does. It is Jason Slider LeDuc. We are Sin City Spin.
I love your intros, man. I love your intros.
And if you think I'm doing your taxes for only one beer,
Right.
you are
last
out.
beer. The last beer.
You are out. That's still one. You are out of your ever-loving mind.
And I'd like to say I might judge you, but I will not shame you. I do not king shame.
No.
I'm into it, man.
There's judgment and there's shame. And everyone's goes,
I might raise an eyebrow and go, only because I'll be like, ooh, I wonder if I'm into that.
Now, you are hearing this on or after February 3rd. That's right. We are already a month into 2025. You've only got 11 more to go. How's those resolutions going? Yeah, no? Okay.
Mine's going great.
Fair. Actually, yes. Yours actually is going well. So, yeah, congrats on that.
Thanks.
I started mine in October, so they're going great as well.
I'm a grown up and I just change things whenever I want, and I don't need a specific date to do them.
Yeah,
I like how Slider. I'm just awesome always.
No, thank you, arbitrary calendar dates, Romans.
Nod to the god Janus, the two-faced little bastard. All right.
Happy
somebody
year
got
of the
that
snake.
joke because that's funny.
I believe you.
I read
I
this.
believe in you.
Yeah, but Year of the Snake. I read this on a buddy of mine's Substack. And like any person raised in the 70s listening to yacht rock, I only celebrate that.
As you should. As you
Happy
should.
year of the snake nonetheless. Let's shed some skin.
I don't know how to take shedding skin to the main topic.
No.
I can't.
Speaking of things that slither around town,
I
that's how you do it. That's called a transition, people.
can't even work in my "The Nights Are Forever Without You" jokes now from the yacht rock lead in. So go ahead, Drew.
Yes.
Get the snake out of your system, literally and figuratively.
Well, guess what's slithering around Las Vegas these days? Waymos. So, for those that don't know,
I don't think they would describe it that way.
well, I mean, I don't know. They're around town checking it all out. Every nook, cranny, corner. They're looking for it. They're recording it. My understanding is they come to town, they drive around, they map it all out. They take a couple of months, they crunch all the data, and then they bring in the robot car fleet. And you can drive around town, I'm guessing sometime pretty soon, in a driverless car.
Yeah,
And I think we should talk about that.
they're already doing it in San Francisco. I haven't done it, but they're already doing it in San Francisco. People love it.
People love
it.
No, they don't. Not
They-
at all.
I mean, they're still in San Francisco. They don't love that.
No. They absolutely hate.
Really, everyone
yes.
I've heard talk about it absolutely loves it.
Okay.
First person accounts.
All right. So yeah, if you look at the news accounts, the people in San Francisco were protesting the GM autonomous fleet, and they were setting traffic cones on the hood because that freezes them, and it forces them to come out there and do that in system. There was a very famous video about 2 years ago where the cops tried to cite what they didn't realize at the time was a driverless car for being double parked, and as they approached the vehicle, it kept trying to get away from them.
It ran from the cops.
It was
awesome.
It was the worst police evasion ever.
It has a
So
criminal
question
record.
for you. The people who don't like it, have they ridden in it? Because I'm talking about people who have talked about riding in it and
Okay,
say
now
it's great.
you're riding in them and loving them are two different things. No, the people that aren't liking them are the people that live there and are having to deal with easily confused autonomous vehicles in a city that is perennially under construction, like every major metropolitan
every
area.
city. And if you've ever driven in San Francisco, as I recently did, it's not any better with the driver cars. So
Facts.
So
yes, I've got a few friends in the Bay Area, and I go there to see them and avoid driving as much as humanly possible. So they're coming to Vegas.
They are coming to Vegas, yes.
And not the first company to offer drivers. Zoox is also here, and they've got their
I
little.
did not know that.
Cute, these guys here, we'll bring this up. So that's a Zoox vehicle. Now, they also have modified fleet of Toyota RAV4s that are using cameras. And right now, they have drivers in the vehicles to interact when they find themselves in a confusing. But that is what they are looking to get toward, is effectively just an appliance, a toaster with no driver and no allocation. Johnny Cab, from the old Total Recall.
I would use that. Like if I'm just going up the road to the casino or whatever, I'd be like, yeah, pick me up. I'm in no hurry. Bippity boppity boo. Now, if I'm going to the airport, I might want like a driver and be, hey, make sure I go to this terminal. I don't know how finite these automatic vehicles can get, but I mean, if I don't have a hard clock, I think I'd take one.
And this leads us to the path. Do you trust these things? Now, it's no big secret among us. I'm the driver, and immediately no. And having not quite your background in IT, doubly no, because it is really easy to confuse one of these things. I'm also thinking this as someone who lives in this city, and I can absolutely picture this thing just irritating the crap out of me, like by stopping at yellow lights and doing the speed limit. I'm getting angry thinking about it being stuck behind it.
How dare you obey traffic laws?
Exactly. Yeah. No. What are you doing?
We will not have rule of traffic law in this city.
Hey, look, there's just a thing called flow. When was the last time any of you actually did the speed limit on I-15?
Yeah. I mean, fair.
This is my case. I'm just going to rest this right here. just leave that right there. So you'll have one of these autonomous vehicles, trundling along in the middle lane at 55 when we come screaming up behind it. Yeah. And then we have to get around.
But see, the answer to that is if all the cars are autonomous and they're all going 55, then traffic could be averted.
If all the cars are autonomous, is anyone truly driving?
Oh, I love when you make my brain break.
I stick with, you can have my steering wheel and you pry from my cold dead fingers.
See,
well, the robot overlords will probably accept your terms.
I believe that they will. I've consulted with them. I believe that they will. No, here's the thing. Coming up, so I remember being 15, 16 years old, a driver's permit, getting my license, the freedom, it rang through me. It was great. Getting my first car, saving up for my jobs, et cetera, et cetera. It
was your ticket to the world. And now the world will come to you via one of the.
And I'm digging it, man. I love it. They'll bring it to my doorstep. They'll bring it right now. They'll bring it next day. They'll come get me. They'll take me places. Hey, as someone who's a big fan of the 420 culture, sometimes I just don't want to drive.
Yeah, and I'm down with all that. It's just I do not like the inflexibility, because everything on this is zeros and ones. And really, this is the bigger thing, is it's a question of cultural shift. And we talked about this this week. The first autonomous vehicle widely accepted by society was the elevator. And even as the elevator came into automation, there were people like, I'm not getting on that thing unless there's a person there operating the switch. We have several friends in aviation, and I'm going to give you a great big peek behind the curtain there, frequent airline travelers. Halfway through the takeoff roll of your airline, regardless of who it is, that pilot takes their hand off the stick. The plane then flies itself, and that pilot, barring anything going wrong, will not touch those controls again until it is on the ground and they apply the brakes.
And that's what we call a sweet gig.
That is, they are there for when it goes wrong. A modern Boeing, all the 787s, as they hit the throttles, they've already loaded in the flight plan. Their hands come off the controls, and the airplane does everything according to the flight plan on there. They are there for when it goes wrong. We grew up in an era with airline crashes, and this is by no means anything that negative on what just happened to the Potomac. We're not touching that political thing, but we are not prepared to accept autonomous aircraft. But I do believe your son will, in fact, be like, "Oh yeah, he works at the airport. I don't trust pilots anyway. I'm much happier with a robot." And it's the same thing in a car. It's the same thing in an elevator. You are a lot more progressive and in touch with technology. Part of it, I don't want to give up driving because it is an activity that I enjoy. Secondly, I don't trust the computer to make a viable decision when the rules aren't clearly laid out.
So is your objection riding in a driverless car or sharing the road with a driverless car, or both, or some combination thereof?
It is both. It is. We've seen these vehicles because they can only come to 1 and 0 type decisions. There's no kind of guessing involved, or they haven't built enough of a database to do this. They had it was a person experienced homeless get killed by one of these in Arizona during testing because presented with something the car had never seen before. The car didn't know what to do, and the car ran over the person. In San Francisco, they're putting traffic cones on there because that's how they're traffic cone. I don't know what to do with the traffic cone. It does come down to a human's ability to kind of reasonably get to something. If we both handed you $20 and said, "Hey, go down to Burger King," and he orders a Whopper and I order a chicken sandwich, and you get down there and they're out of Whoppers, you could reason with what you have gathered, knowing him over the years, what a facsimile close enough to that to be. These vehicles cannot do that. To your point, though, there are any number of people driving vehicles that also are incapable of rendering a best decision when presented with something outside of their sphere of influence.
Also, if you give me $20 and I go down to Burger King, I'm coming back with small chicken fries for both of you and eating whatever else I want.
I think it comes down to this: like, what kind of
double Whopper?
You're out of Whoppers.
Make
a double Whopper. You're not.
Make sure I get those 2 small chicken fries.
You're only out of single Whoppers. Give me a double. Come on.
Burger King is not a sponsor, by the way.
No, God, no, I don't think.
I think there's 2 kinds of drivers right now. I think there's people like you that you get behind the wheel and you feel that invigoration, that one with the road. Someone that says, "I want to jump in the car and do a multi-day road trip." And I don't know where you stand on that necessarily. I think you're a little more road trip-esque as well.
I like road trips, but there are times, like if we're going downtown to enjoy what Las Vegas has to offer, I don't want to be driving down and more importantly, I don't want to be driving back. Right. And if the, and the autonomous vehicle versus the driver vehicle, I mean, pros and cons, right? Yeah. Yes, it's new technologies. There's a little startup fake it till you make it in there, right? No one in the startup thought to program, what does a homeless person shuffling across the street look like? We might want to avoid that, right? Startups make mistakes too, right? The traffic cone thing. So there's always a little startup fake it till you make it. The stakes are high on this. People get hurt. So, we might need a little more rigorous testing before a company's allowed to be on the road. But all that said, a lot of times when it comes down to am I driving or not, it's a financial calculation. Like I know you Uber or Lyft down to the airport a lot.
Yes.
When I do the math, when I'm traveling, the times a day I'm traveling, the times a day I'm coming back from a business trip or something, if I calculate out what an Uber is going to cost me down and an Uber is going to cost me back, and I'm going for 4 days or less, the parking at the airport is cheaper than what it costs me to get down there.
I have an exact financial amount, and if I bring up the Uber and it's more than that amount, I get in the car. Yeah.
And now I'm on my schedule. I'm not standing in the line waiting for everybody getting an Uber. Like, especially if you come in on I try not to fly in on a Friday. And I try not to fly out of here on a Sunday or a Monday morning.
Flying out of here on a Friday is awesome.
Oh, flying out of here on Friday is the best.
Yes.
It's like a tumbleweed going along the concourse. Hear that whistle from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
masses of people that are coming through security, and you're like, yes, please spend your money. Make sure I don't pay state income tax.
You can hand it directly to me if you'd like.
I think there's enough young people. If my son had his druthers, he would read a book or be on his phone or something on the way to work.
And I do that a lot when I travel. Is I get an Uber instead of renting a car, and then I do work in the car. Like last year I was in Indianapolis, had like a 40-minute car ride. I did work on the car on the way to the hotel.
And what's hilarious is, as the gearhead, I would be barfing my guts up if I tried to look at a laptop or read, or more than read a text on my phone. I'm going to get nauseous.
Now, I'm a talker. I like talking to my rideshare drivers. I do get into that.
I enjoy that aspect.
There are times I'm very comfortable just sitting in the back seat and just messing around on my phone as well. So, I mean, I think they're coming. And at the end of the day, I think they're going to sound like a bunch of guys riding horses when they started letting those pesky automobiles on the road, and they were ruining everything.
Which, according to Jay Leno, that was the best thing that ever happened to horses.
Episode idea: we do the episode riding horses.
No, thank you.
Maybe I'll ride a horse.
Okay.
So, and I could just.
I know where I can get a horse right now.
I could just be a Luddite and not wanting to do this kind of a deal, and not recognizing that it is going to make life easier for me as a automotive enthusiast. But yeah.
But you can still be an automotive. Nobody's taking them away from you.
No.
I mean, not yet.
All hail the robot overlords. Long may they reign.
And that does become a sticking point. Is if we cannot find a place where we can share the road, it's going to have to be controlled roads where only these things can operate. And then I'm the guy in Demolition Man in the Oldsmobile 442 just flying through the All right, man, we did not expect to go this long on this one.
I told you it was a good one.
Right,
I felt it in my bones.
Felt it. All right.
We didn't even talk about the Zoox accident a few years ago.
We didn't. There's more ground to cover.
Another episode.
I'm sure we will revisit
another time.
Another time.
Feel free to go in the comments and tell us all why I'm an idiot. Which I feel like that's how that's going to
go. And don't feel it has to be on this topic. He's an idiot for a lot of reasons.
No. Don't limit yourselves. We're thinking in 5 dimensions, people.
Why?
5 dimensions.
Speaking of 5 dimensions, Slider, you had something unrelated to this.
Unrelated? Yeah. So it is the end of January, beginning of February. Do you guys know what's going on this week?
I mean, Lunar New Year.
We are 51 weeks away from the 2026 Adult Video Awards.
Also factually true. Any other guesses?
You want to narrow our scope?
No, I just want to see if you guys know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, China came out with Deep Sea, Blue Sky.
That was. I thought about talking about that this week, but I didn't get to do enough looking into it myself. So we'll save that for another time. It's Sundance Film Festival.
Oh,
and that would not be interesting by itself, but it turns out Sundance Film Festival is leaving Park City, Utah. Not this year, not next year, but in 2027.
Okay.
And they've narrowed down the field to 3 cities.
Ooh.
So before I tell you what the 3 cities are, what do you guys think of Sundance leaving Park City?
It's probably outgrown it. We've all driven through Park City. It is a beautiful town, lovely place, great skiing.
I've ridden through Park City in an autonomous vehicle.
Ooh, no. I drove through Park City in my manually controlled vehicle.
Not really, but
and I exceeded the speed limit the whole time.
Somebody, if you know the statute of limitations for speeding in Utah, go ahead and put that in the comments
and prove it.
So
I think all things should come to Vegas. I know I'm gonna get out. Man, is it too big for Utah? Yeah, it's too big for Utah because it's Vegas big, baby.
That's one of the reasons they're talking about moving it. Is they've had a lot of pushback from the community.
It has gotten a bit.
It's a little overgrown. I've got friends. I don't know if they still go, but they went every year for like 20 years before COVID. I don't know if they're still going. They love it. It's great. I've never been.
That's the place in the show Entourage that they went to, right?
I don't know.
But I did not realize we were on that list, and I presume that's why
we weren't on that list.
Oh, well then that's just stupid. We were not. We should totally be on that list.
We should totally be on that list. Yeah. So what's very interesting about it is the community was complaining about the traffic, about the visitors, the outsiders, and of course now when they've announced, okay, we're down to our 3 finalist cities, we're going to move it in 2027. they're like, no, don't go. We love you guys. Keep it here. So the 3 finalist cities.
Drew, you dated Park City, Utah?
It sounds like all the sports teams that were like, wait a minute, you're going where? Sin City, that slut.
So when we were going up to San Francisco for the Vets and Tech Gala, we were driving through Oakland.
Oh, Lord.
Also, quickly, not in an autonomous vehicle.
Not in an autonomous vehicle, no. And my buddy Dave woke up as we were driving through Oakland. He's like, where are we? And I was like, I'll tell you where we're not. We're not a place with a pro football team and a pro baseball team anymore. Take that, Oakland. So,
man.
So the 3 finalist cities are Salt Lake City / Park City, with most of it in Salt Lake and a couple token.
I think if they did change their name to Salt Lake Slutty, they'd probably get a lot more action.
I'd go. I wouldn't move there, but it's only about a 6-hour drive for a quick flight.
That sounds so long in a car.
Now, well,
right time of year, I could always beat
if it were an autonomous car, would you be okay with 6 hours?
I mean, maybe if I could lay down and take a nap, yeah. Just sitting in the passenger side.
Salt Lake City, Cincinnati, Ohio, and Boulder, Colorado.
Boulder is not going to be big enough. Boulder's going to run into the same problems as Park City.
That's what I thought. And there was, and I don't know how the process worked. I don't know if you applied for it. I don't know if Vegas applied for it or not. I don't know if they just looked at different cities.
Vegas doesn't apply. We just know.
Well, we applied for the Amazon headquarters and didn't get that.
Oh darn! There's not 90
we,
Amazon warehouses with a stone's throw.
Mainly because we can't seem to get anyone into a STEM career here for some reason. But Santa Fe was on the bigger list.
Sure.
So it's they really did kind of want to keep that mountain small town feel to it. So that's
all right. Because there is, Vegas. You guys are all about casinos, and there is a wonderful art scene here. There's a wonderful film scene here. There are studios coming here. So I would think that we would actually be a viable.
Yeah. Well, and I think there are little film festivals here.
Oh, absolutely.
But I think, if someone wanted to get really ambitious, they could do
the AVNs are here. I know that.
That's a different kind of festival, Drew.
And that's really all I know about how to make movies.
Actually, if you're watching, Drew did all the lighting today. So if you like the way we're lit, it's all Drew. But I think starting a film festival here would be a great project for someone, a bigger one than, because we have some that run 1-2 nights, like a weekend kind of thing.
Sure.
But did you guys know the new Pamela Anderson movie, The Last Showgirl? They did the no kidding legit world premiere here in Las Vegas at the Beverly Theater.
Oh,
yes.
No, I did not.
And they have done other things. We also had the it's been renamed, but the Art House Cinema downtown. And I think I've tried to drag you guys out to see stuff at the Beverly Theater, which is just one of my favorite venues in this town.
It's a great theater.
Great. Yeah. Got the Rocky Horror Picture Show and Lost Boys this Halloween. It was fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what I have. It's Sundance week.
It is Sundance week. And you're only going to be able to say that 2 more times.
Well, it'll always be Sundance week. They're not changing the name.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't think so. Maybe that should be a contest.
Maybe it'd be Moondance.
Put in the comments what you think we should rename the Sundance Film Festival to.
Moondance.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm sure.
And we're renaming it.
I'm sure Redford will listen to us.
Yeah, exactly.
And then bring it to Las Vegas,
which Redford will probably never do.
Happy transition. Are we ready? The other one was so smooth, and this one was not. All right. So for my topic, I want to talk about something fun that's in the news. It's Guantanamo Bay, but don't but don't panic. It's going to be fun.
What could be more fun?
Which is what everyone that goes there says. Oh, don't worry.
Grab the grandparents, pack the kids. We're all going to Gitmo.
Yes.
Would you go there in an autonomous car?
Autonomous boat.
I would. And I'm thinking new installment of National Lampoon's Vacation.
Going to Gitmo.
You're
going to Gitmo. I love this. I think we should screenplay Going to Gitmo. Anywho, so whatever your feelings are about the administration, whatever your feelings are about DOD, working with Homeland Security, whether it's legal, whether it's not, whether we should fought in court. That's not what we're here to discuss. That's not fun stuff, and everyone else is already talking about that. I want to talk to you about a guy named Steve. And for our somewhere between 2 and 2 million listeners out there, I like to dream big. I manifest things. I don't use AI to paint cool pictures. I'm going to paint it with my voice and paint it in your mind. So close your eyes if you have an autonomous vehicle and enjoy the show.
Paint quicker.
You're driving a regular car, for God's sake, keep your eyes
quicker.
All right. So there you are. You're in Gitmo, right? You're working on your mission. You're going to the DFAC. You're going to the gym. It's Friday night. You're out having a
DFAC is the
yeah, you might need to explain some of that.
You're getting food.
You might need to explain deployed life to people.
Right. You're doing your mission. There's like, I don't know, there's like 5 Bubbas there now, right? And here it happens. You get the notice. Hey, SecDef's coming. The brand new SecDef just got confirmed. He's coming here. Oh my gosh, what could it be about? It's exciting, right? And this guy was a captain, and now he's the Secretary of Defense, which is amazing, and lets me believe I can do anything. I think that's what Steve is having.
Which is like a bad movie.
No, Steve is having a moment. He's looking at Secretary Pete, and he calls him Secretary Pete because, like me, I do gummies, and I can't remember his last name right now. It starts with an H. Secretary H.
Well, from now on, he's Secretary Pete to me.
He's always been going to be secretary. He was a captain. And you're looking at this guy and you're going, that guy was a captain and I'm a captain and maybe I could be him someday and run the whole Department of Defense. And
so Steve's a captain.
And Steve is a captain. Steve is a captain. And Bridget's working at the clubhouse. And Doug's the greenskeeper.
And we're talking Army or Air Force captain, not Navy captain. Yeah. So relax, Navy guys and girls.
And there he sits, and then Secretary Pete comes out and stands on the golf course. The same golf course you're going to play golf on next Saturday with all your friends. And he says, this would be a great place to house 30,000 people. Oh, and I don't know what your life is like at Guantanamo, but it's different now.
Those facilities already exist.
He pointed at the golf course and said we could build it right here.
Oh, okay.
But there's like 9,000 pallets.
The immigrant detention center was like already in place at Gitmo
for like 1,000 terrorists.
No. In addition to the terrorists, was like where they actually had a.
I'm saying you're at Gitmo.
Who's telling this story?
You think your life is going this way? You're planning Valentine's,
and they just basically took the golf course away.
Bip, and now there's 9,000 pallets of tents and detention equipment because I don't think people want to be there. Right?
True.
So man, all I'm saying is their week's different, and we've all been. We've all been there where you thought you knew what your job was, and then you just got handed the biggest shit sandwich ever, and you were like, go forth and conquer, young captain.
I don't actually remember a time when I arrived at a place or thought I had something figured out that I wasn't given. It was like, oh, you think you've got it figured out? Time for the shit sandwich. It's like, it's almost autonomous. That, you've got it figured out. Time for the shit sandwich.
Should we drink anytime anyone says autonomous?
Yes.
So here's my understanding about Guantanamo Bay. The facility you're talking about is left over from the 90s. I don't think it's been used since the 90s. And my understanding, it was set up for about 10,000 people max.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's my understanding. I don't think it's in great shape.
We don't fact check.
No. Then we would be news. This is a podcast.
We have opinions.
Yeah. Fair. Actually, I don't know.
If I knew which button that was on the board, I'd have you push it.
We'll see. We'll see if it can work or not. Yeah. So maybe that just showed up. We'll know when we listen to it.
I really just kind of wanted to take everybody on that journey, and thanks for going. And
no, yeah, exactly.
Let's all feel bad for Captain
Steve and Steve was really looking forward to spending a year down at Gitmo and on a remote tour and knocking 2 strokes off his overall game, and no more.
Hey man, the Greenskeeper. What does the Greenskeeper even do now? Like, are they out of it? Like, everyone's life at Gitmo right now is just upside down.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, they were still at Gitmo. I mean, it's not. Look, it's not like they were in Orlando. So like they were all chilling in San Diego,
having
like on Coronado Island in San Diego.
Cuba Libres and playing volleyball, and now they're like, we got to build how many tents?
Yeah.
You want me on that wall? You need me on that wall.
You know who you don't want on that wall?
Me. You don't want me on the wall.
No.
I would be working on my tan.
Have you tried to get my car up there?
Is weed legal in Cuba?
Oh.
Is Castro still around? What's his vibe?
There we go.
Dead.
Yeah. Super chill.
Oh. Speaking of things that are super chill, that was
a lovely transition. That was fantastic.
Except
we're getting better.
It has nothing to do. Recently in the Midwest, John Deere lost a lawsuit about right to repair. This has been an ongoing battle for 4 years with several Midwestern states. What it comes down to is John Deere does not authorize anyone who is not a John Deere dealer to repair any of their equipment, and they will not release their software. And using unauthorized software could absolutely void your warranty, and you're not allowed to work on your car. And this is right as John Deere has lost this 2 years ago. Maine, after a very contentious year over this, overturned a right to repair law, which had this law passed, they would have only been allowed to take your vehicle to the dealership. You couldn't fix it yourself. You couldn't take it down to your buddy's cousin's uncle. You couldn't take it down to that corner shop. It had to be repaired by the dealer. And it comes down to software and allowing people to do this. And this is the question that I'm going with is, do you own the things you buy? The world has moved to a subscription-based society. You don't need a car anymore. All you need is Uber or Lyft. You don't even really need a fridge. You don't need an oven. You don't need any of that stuff. You can have your meals, all this subscription. You don't need internet. You subscribe to the internet. Do you even own your phone, or are you slowly paying for it over time? And this is another one of these ideas where I can't get past it. If I paid for it, it's mine. And someone telling me that I can't fix the thing, or accurately break the thing that I bought trying to fix it. So it comes down to now their argument, particularly in John Deere, is they have proprietary software. And I don't know how up on combines you guys are, but basically it's a Barco lounger in an air-conditioned room that uses GPS to keep it on track when they're doing things in the field on this one. But
it's all I ever think about in my free time.
Yeah. When it goes,
in 5 dimensions.
When it goes down, you've got to wait on the repair guy to come out there. And there's not 100 of those guys in Southern Illinois. There's like 3. And if your combine is not working, you are not making money. You are not paying your bills, including that several $1 million harvester, that machine that you have. So are you allowed, because farmers are inherently independent, should they be allowed to fix their own stuff? Where a lot of them have gone is the Chinese have hacked their software. So these American farmers are having to buy pirated Chinese software to keep their combines going. And John Deere doesn't want them to do it.
I feel differently about this. So I was right there with you, man. There was a time in my life I was cracking open routers and changing out memory cards and doing the things I knew how to do because I knew how to do them right. And by golly, I'm smart and I know how. Until I didn't follow the procedure, didn't put the wristband on. I shocked some stuff. Maybe did like $5,000 worth of damage. And we took the servers and the routers back to the company. The company said, you cracked these open. So I get where they're coming from. On the one hand, yes, you bought it. You own it. It's your damn tractor. And it sucks that if your tractor doesn't work, you have to wait for a licensed service repairman. I 100% agree. That sucks. That should be fixed at John Deere. But pulling down hacked Chinese software, I mean, that's the whole idea, is that these combines do some really smart stuff now that I understand. I mean, they're out there, micro checking all the soil samples and figuring it all out, and knowing that if you move the soybeans to 3 meters to the left, you're going to get a better crop yield. I mean, I don't know, stuff like that. But, that's the kind of things that are happening there. And I think it's okay to say, hey, man, you can absolutely buy our tractor, use our tractor. but you can't have other people mucking around with our tractor and stealing our tech and our designs and then shitting out a tractor cheaper than us because we did all that R&D and we did all those years of testing.
Then don't sell it.
Lease it. It should be a lease. Right, but that's the real answer. Right. Lease.
But as somebody, I've, similar to the server things. Oh, I've cracked open some things, broke it, and went and then taken it to my mechanic, who, when they're done laughing, goes, "Well, this what would have been $10 repair is now going to be $1,000 repair." Okay, I got it, but it's still mine. I took the chance and I did it. And the routing company, okay, yeah, sure, you guys cracked these things open, you screwed it up. Now you're going to pay us to fix what you screwed up. Mm-hmm. Them's your chances. But them just absolutely saying no.
Yeah.
Except they're not saying no, because weren't they just told in a lawsuit that they have to give a right to repair?
Yeah. Well,
I don't mean to jump to the end, but I do mean to jump to the end.
The main repair law is being that they are fighting, saying it's not legal, and they are now once again trying to tell people in Maine that you cannot have someone else fix your car.
So this is John Deere in Maine, or this is somebody else?
No. This is the whole right to repair issue. This is major vehicle manufacturers in Maine. John Deere just lost the suit in the Midwest. But
was that a federal court case or a state court case?
I believe several state attorney generals went after
probably
John Deere
a federal court case
court,
then.
Yeah.
So
right now,
that doesn't mean they have to follow it in Maine. But
the Maine, they settled it, but now Maine is coming. The automobile OEMs are coming back saying it's not being implemented properly. We need to take this away from these third party people.
Well, I do like party people.
The main point in Maine, I just wanted to say that. So, look, you have people that are obviously capable of repairing these, and if it's a mechanical repair, I think maybe that. But this has been, and maybe it is protectionism. Maybe we need to dig deeper and look at, because everyone from the copy repair folks to the printer repair folks to the everyone wants you to use their licensed stuff and their licensed repair folks. And that all does come at a premium. And at what point do we get the right to say, hey, the free market says we can do this more effectively and cheaper, and we should be allowed to? It's a tough nut to crack.
I think John Deere and the automobile OEMs might be missing the forest for the trees on this one, because when you have folks who legit just want to repair their own car or their own tractor or their combine, and they're going to download that software update, or they're going to, they're going to do that. They're doing that for their own interest, and they're going to, whatever the law is, they're going to follow it for the most part, right? And if they screw it up, it's going to cost them more, right? And then some of them will go, I'm not doing that again. And then some of them, like Mental, will go, what's next? But the challenge that these guys have is you can make it as illegal as you want. Criminals don't care. Criminals who are going to try to crack your software, crack your code, take your IP and use it. First, they're not trying to repair anything. And second, they don't care what the right to repair laws are or not, right?
True. And, the thing is, nobody should be going to jail because they fixed their damn tractor that they own and paid for and everything else. And I think the real solution might be autonomous vehicles. It's a callback.
Constantly updated via satellite link.
Yeah.
Sending their data back to the Chinese.
Drones repairing them on the spot for you. Oh, it's a brave new world.
It's like freaking Star Wars, man.
Man, it's a brave new world coming.
Droids just like crawling over your car and repairing it while you're driving it.
In Star Wars, there was the Millennium Falcon that was neither not autonomous, and Han Solo and Chewie had the right to repair. And there were some creative repairs in the Millennium Falcon.
I loved that. Yes. Right to repair. Yes, they did. Yep.
Oh, all right. Well, on that note, I think that's going to wrap us up for the day. Or
I'm going to go make the Kessel Run.
Thank you all for joining us. If you want to agree or disagree, correct our math, or find out where the good tacos are, drop us a line at sinspitty.podcast@gmail.com or text us at 702-721-7328. We're on Facebook. We're on Insta. We're on Reddit. We're on that thing formerly known as Twitter. That's Excuse me. That's all we have. Stay safe and hopefully luck will be your lady tonight. And if you wind up broke, I hope you have a swinging good time.